Well, good morning, everyone. Happy Thursday, making it through the week. Alyssa, how are you guys doing?
Yes, doing good over here. Just trying to push through as well. We've got in the building, Ian's been sick, so just kind of
Mm,
trying to pick up for him. No, but he's,
yeah.
poor guy, he's got that influenza A, which we were just talking
Oh,
about last week.
no.
Illnesses going
Yes.
around. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's
too
a hard
bad. But
time of year. Yep.
it is. But we're just 2 days off from Valentine's Day weekend. So I
I
say get the
know.
sickness out of the way in the week before the weekend comes around, right?
Yes, and it's supposed to be beautiful weather too, so I'm hoping a lot of folks can really enjoy the weekend. And some people have a long holiday with President's Day off on Monday. Or do your kids go to school on Monday?
They'll be in school on Monday. They have parent-teacher conferences next week, so conferences and
Gotcha.
short days on Wednesday, Thursday, then everyone's off next week on Friday. So,
Oh,
yeah, a
okay.
little
Okay.
different there for them.
But yeah, my kids are off Monday and Tuesday. So husband's staying with them on Monday. I'm staying with them on Tuesday. So, but
That's perfect.
yeah, we mentioned Valentine's Day. That's kind of our theme for our Juice Box chat today. And we're going to cover, a lot of different topics when it comes to the fun day and how we spend it with our families. But first, Alyssa, I thought it would be fun to talk about maybe what Valentine's Day looked like years ago for us before children compared to how it looks now. What are your thoughts on that? What are some big changes for you guys?
I think the main thing is just trying to schedule something. We do make it a
Yeah.
priority, my husband and I, to do a little something anyways for Valentine's Day. Kind of depends on where it lands as well. So,
Hmm.
if it lands during the week, we'll do something together before, normally that weekend before Valentine's Day to celebrate, and
Okay.
then we'll do something as a family on the night of. But as this year it falls on a Saturday, it's kind of unique where we will go out and do something together on Saturday. We just have a really busy weekend and a busy Saturday. So
Mm-hmm.
we scheduled for 5:30 a dinner date reservation at Moleta Vista, which is a winery up north of St. Paul. So if you've never been, you have to check it out. It's our favorite. We had one of our first dates there, so it's kind of a special spot for us. So we planned that out for 5:30, and then we kind of forgot. Oh, there's a birthday party at 4. Oh, we're supposed to be at Fauner Park earlier in the day for the beginning of horse races. So just trying to balance it. And then, of course, early Sunday morning, our son has wrestling. So, it's just been trying to find that balance because we do make it a priority for us to do a little something anyway each year. It depends on what that looks like. Every year is a little different, it seems. But yeah, how
Yeah.
about you guys? I
Oh,
know
you.
you've got little ones too that are maybe a little bit younger.
Yeah.
So
Sounds like you guys are busy. My goodness. Full
we are,
weekend.
yeah. And
Yeah.
it's a busy weekend just in
Hmm.
general, and it just so happens to fall on Valentine's Day. And I did
Yeah.
mention, I said, do we cancel? Do we do it another time? But I think we're going to be able to fit it all in.
Yeah. I think it's going to be a packed weekend at restaurants or any kind of date night areas or spots that people like to go to. And you're right. We always try to do something together or make time for each other. But fun fact about my husband, he is an incredible cook. And so a lot of times if I'm craving something or we want something special for a holiday or a date night at home, I kind of put in my request to the chef and he whips it up and I don't have to change out of my sweatpants. So that's pretty cool. So, and we also have a couple events coming up with our friends in the next coming weekends here that are left in February, the last 2 weekends. So we kind of decided to have a more relaxing, chill Valentine's Day and maybe not fight the crowds for a reservation and going out. So we decided that we're going to have some supper at home, maybe, watch a movie or do something just at home. And then we'll be going out for those other weekends with our friends. And that will be more of like our time to hire a babysitter and actually go out and do something. So I think our Valentine's Day is going to be pretty chill, but I'm okay with that.
Yeah, we were invited to, there's a gala actually for Willow Rising, which is a nonprofit here in Grand Island. And they've got their gala coming up on Saturday, and we thought about it, but then that just added even more to the mix. And I just
Yeah.
thought, we also have a gala coming up next month, and my husband's kind of one of those one gala and done a year type. So
I
I
get
said,
that. I
okay,
get that.
We'll just keep it simple, and but this is kind of a tradition for us to do the Moleta Vista thing.
Gotcha.
A lot of times for Valentine's Day if we can, and then for our anniversary as well. So
Oh,
but
sounds like a really neat spot. I'll have to check it out.
yeah, you guys will have to, especially in the summertime because it's a beautiful view. It's like kind of on a little bluff, and then
Oh,
it goes down,
nice.
so it's got a great view. So yeah,
Okay.
you'll definitely have to check it out.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
As
you
far
know,
as
oh, sorry, go ahead.
Sure. As far as when it comes to traditions with your kids, though, now, do you guys do certain things with them when it comes to Valentine's Day?
Yeah, we do have a little fun tradition for my daughter, and well, for the kids now, both of them, but we started it with my daughter. Every Valentine's Day, however old she is, so we started when she was 1, my husband buys her that amount of roses. So, like 1 and then 2, 3. This year she'll get 5. And for our son, we were kind of doing it differently. We would do like maybe a little toy or something. And if he didn't necessarily want flowers, but we need to kind of figure out a different tradition for him. And then after Valentine's Day, once those roses, wilt and start drying, I lay out all the petals and I'm saving them in a big vase for her if she ever wanted to like toss them at her wedding or I don't know, do something with them. If it's special at all to her someday, she can have them. If not, it's something that can easily be tossed someday if she's not interested. But we just thought that would kind of be fun to start for her.
That is such a cute idea. I love
you.
that. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I bet she'll do something with that someday. That is so
hope so.
thoughtful. Wow, I love it.
I hope
Yeah,
so.
it seems we kind of started traditions. It just depends on each year.
Yeah.
When our kids were really little, it was the stuffed animals and that kind of thing. And now
Yeah.
it's kind of evolving. Each kid gets a similar, if not the same, some kind of chocolate and a card from us. And then the last couple of years, our son's been wanting to do something as a family, like a celebration. As I mentioned,
That's sweet.
a lot of times when the Valentine's Day falls on during the week, we've done something as a family if the night's open. And so I think last year we did crab legs, and that crab legs are one of
yum.
my favorite foods.
Same.
I know. And
Same.
so Leo is like, hey, can we do that again this year? So I think on Sunday night we're going to do crab legs at the house with all 4 of us and just do our own little Valentine's thing. But
That's
kind
so
of
fun.
become a tradition. And then the grandmas, they'll bring over little gifts as well too. And so kind of has become this big thing. Once in a while, my husband, if he gets me flowers, then he'll put a flower or 2 in a vase for Liv. And so we kind of do it that way also. So it just depends on the year, but they like something like that. Honestly, growing up as a kid, I'm not sure about you, Megan, but I mean, once my dad would do stuff for my mom, and here or there, he'd give me a flower from his vase, but that was about it. And so we didn't really have big traditions as a family or things like that with all of us kids when it came to Valentine's. So it's different. It took me thinking differently about that kind of stuff. And so then I've kind of jumped on board with it those sense. So, just because you did certain things a certain way when you were a kid growing up doesn't mean it has to stay that way, especially if your kids appreciate it. So.
Oh, absolutely. And yeah, we didn't have a lot of traditions, I would say either. I always just remember getting maybe a little box of chocolates or a little stuffed animal too, But oh my gosh, that is one thing we do not need more of in our house is stuffed animals. We have so many stuffies. So this year I tried to get the kids, I got them like a little heart chocolate too, and then Aurora will get the flowers, and then I got Riot some Hot Wheels cars because he picked out Hot Wheels Valentines for his friends. But I think he pointed at the box and said cars because he thought there were cars inside. And, of course, it's just the paper Valentines. And so I don't think he quite understood, what we were doing. So I got him some Hot Wheels for Valentine's Day to kind of help with that because I think he was excited. And then I got him each a Valentine's Day themed book. So that's kind of what we got him this year.
We've done that too in the past too, or a grandma has done that. At a daycare that we went to, they did like a book exchange for Valentine's.
Oh, fun! That's cute.
It was a Valentine's themed book exchange, and so we've got those somewhere as well. The cute little Valentine's books. I mean, they're memories. And in the moment when you think about it, it's like, oh, another book. But now when I look at that stuff, I just go, oh, I kind of miss
Yep.
that, or that's cute. And let's
Oh
save
yeah.
some of this stuff. You can't
Or
save it all, but some of it I do want to definitely save.
Oh, absolutely. And, I always think about, I don't know if you've seen it too. I think I originally saw it on some post on social media about how you only have, so many Easters, so many Valentine's Day, so many Christmases with your kids to truly make it special. And, that magic fades as they get a little older and older. And so I just think if there is a chance, an opportunity in life to celebrate the good and happiness and love, I'm going to take it. And, there's enough bad days that I really want to try and focus on those good ones instead. And so that's what maybe when the kids look back when they're older, that's what sticks out vividly in their memories.
Yep, definitely, exactly. Super important.
Yeah.
You guys, tomorrow, will you be celebrating Valentine's Day at your school?
Yeah, I'm actually,
Were you
my
going to
daughter's
be
volunteering, yes.
chaperoning?
Well,
Yeah.
I'm volunteering at they're calling it like a winter party. So I think there are Valentine's Day crafts and games, but there's also, I know, like snowman bowling. So it's kind of wintry too. It's not all Valentine's Day, but it's
Yeah.
really cute. So yeah, as soon as I get off work tomorrow, I'm going to go and help at their winter party. And both kids tonight, we got to put together their Valentines for their friends because, they're supposed to bring them tomorrow and distribute them all. So what about you guys? Are you volunteering?
So this year I'm going to stop by. I'm not officially registered as a volunteer for either class. I got
Okay.
to the register too late, and so I was like, oh shoot! I helped with giving something, and then I dropped the ball as far as that. But I as well, I'm off anyway, and so I try and
Oh,
stop by.
nice.
So normally it's coming, yeah. So they normally have theirs at 2. I think it's something like that. So
Okay.
I'll go and try and get to each class. They're in different wings of the school now, so it's kind of
Oh,
making sure that they normally have them about the same time, so you can bounce back pretty easily if you have kids in either classes. So that's kind of nice. So that's my plan. I'm intending to do that. I haven't told the kids that. I'm kind of making it a surprise. They
cute.
seem
Cute.
to, yeah, find that a little more exciting, it seems like. But
Yeah.
over the years, I normally pick one where I will either volunteer at or send treats or whatever's on the list, something like that. It's just kind of dependent on the year a little bit. But,
Yeah.
now with 2 kids in the same school, it's a little trickier kind of bouncing back and forth. But
I
just
bet.
kind of, like you said the other day, showing that effort, showing it means a lot to the kids, and something that they'll always remember and keep with them. So planning on doing that. We also have Valentine's to put together. We had a Valentine's Day box to put together last night, and that has
Oh,
been a process.
what
I
did they
am
make?
grateful for the internet.
What did they
I'll
make?
post today. I'll get a picture of it and I'll post it on my Facebook page. But we were kind of, my daughter and I, so every year at their school, up until I suppose 4th grade, they decorate a bag at home or at school, and then they use that. So I think in pre-K, in preschool, they were bringing in their own. And we usually kept it pretty simple for that. But the last 4 years, it's been really simple where they just do it all at school and we don't have to worry about it. Well, things have changed this year, and my daughter was all about doing her own box. So, truth be told, I am not crafty at all. I do not find a lot of enjoyment in the crafting. It gives me a little bit of stress and anxiety because I don't think I'm very good at it. And so I went online and typed in, girls Valentine's Day box ideas, and we were scrolling, and one that popped up was totally my daughter. We painted it red, shoebox red, and then I went over to the craft section at Walmart and got red paint and some red glitter and eyes. So it's got like eyes and then teeth where the mouth where you put the cards in. So it's what did she call it? Her
Cute.
Valentine's Day monster. Yeah,
Oh,
and
I
it
love
worked out pretty
that.
well.
Yeah.
We had paint everywhere because I wasn't really going about it in the step-by-step process I probably should have, but it all worked out, and I was proud of myself. I had a proud mom moment because I told Liv, I said, this is way better than anything I would have come up with as a kid, but I didn't have the internet to help me out and help me with ideas.
Yeah. That's true. I totally
Yeah, so
understand the perfectionist part, or like, because you want it to be so good for your kids. And sometimes those crafts are so stressful, and I am not artistic
I
either.
know.
So I totally understand that.
And some people will have just these crazy good ones, or you'll see
Yes.
with we kind of keep it bare minimum too when it comes to the Valentine's days that we give.
Hmm.
But some people go all out, and
Hmm.
that's awesome. That's great, especially they must love doing that. But that's just not my thing. But I appreciate those who do and who love that. But we
Yeah.
keep it really simple. So yeah. But
S-
this was
s-
fun. I was a little stressed out, but it was fun. It was fun.
So just your daughter made one, or does your son also have a Valentine's Day box or bag or something that they're doing, or?
So he's doing a bag at school that they put
Okay.
together. So the
Gotcha.
last few years, it's always been they do it at school, but this
Okay.
fourth grade class is doing their own thing. So going rogue on me here. So I was kind of surprised. I said, "Don't you guys do bags at school always? Do
I
it
see.
yourself?" So
I was
anyway, it was
surprised.
fun.
I was surprised, like the opposite way, kind of with my kids. So, this is the first year I've had a school age child. And I remember even in kindergarten making a shoebox or decorating a shoebox at home and bringing that. And so I was planning that we would probably be making a Valentine's Day box, but then school sent out a message letting folks know that they would be decorating bags in school, and that you didn't need to bring any kind of a box. And while I love that they're taking care of that in class and doing that together, and it gives all of the children the same opportunities, to decorate something, I kind of also missed the opportunity to have with Aurora, making something like that, like you did with Liv and the crafting.
Yep.
But maybe as they get older, maybe that changes too. I'm not sure. So we'll see.
Yeah. I was surprised also, but I was in the boat where I was a bit relieved. Saying, "Oh,
I
good,
get that.
good, they're doing it at school. I don't have
Yes.
to worry about it this year."
Yes.
But it was fun, and like I said, once she, the thing that was confusing is last week she had this completely, and I'm not entirely sure what her idea was, but she had this one box, and then she wanted either paper towel holders, like the cardboard, or toilet
Yeah.
paper roll holders,
Okay.
or the rolls. And I couldn't figure out what her idea was, and so that was kind of stressing me out a little bit, just because I wasn't in her head. And so then I said, "Hey, let's just scroll through and look at some different ideas." And she
There you
saw
go.
the monster Valentine's box and was all in on that. And so I
There
was
you
like,
go.
we
And now,
have something to go off of. I
yeah.
need something to go off of usually. That's just me.
Oh, yeah. No, a visual, I get that. So for their actual Valentines, what they bring for their friends, are there any restrictions on what they can or can't be brought or given?
Not in our classes. If there
Okay.
is an allergy or something like that, they'll send a note, a disclaimer of some kind. But we have not had that arise for our kids yet. So it's kind of whatever. I mean, they do say to have it prepackaged, but then I see parents that send, that make things from home, and so
Yeah.
it's suggested that it not be things from home, but then people do anyway. So they still let them give them out. I'm assuming that the parent or that the teacher just looks them over, and then, or the parent talks to the teacher ahead of time if that's what they've done. But not really any restrictions. Like I said, we keep it pretty simple. This year we're doing Fun Dip. The kids and my husband, I think we're at Sam's Club, and it was literally 60 Fun Dips
Oh,
in
my
one
goodness.
box.
60
And,
fun
each kid only has 20 or 22 kids
Yeah.
in the class. I'm going, what are we going to do with these other, 20 fun dips? Like, I'm sorry, but if you've had fun dips at your house, you know what happens.
Yes.
It's the powder all over. It's blue. It's red.
Yep.
It's not my favorite, so I was not impressed. But I
That they picked that out.
you're cleaning up the powder when
Yeah.
that happens. Although I say that, and then my son got into them, and I was the one cleaning up the powder last
Oh,
week, so
yeah. Yep.
fine. But we usually keep it pretty simple with the treats. Each year it's a little different what we go with, but yeah, this is a Fun Dip year, so. What
Very
about you guys?
nice. Well, I was actually surprised to learn at my daughter's school, Lincoln Public Schools, she wasn't allowed to bring anything edible. So she couldn't bring any candy, any kind of treats, whether it's store or homemade. It was nothing edible. What they could bring for gifts had to be something small and that would fit, in these bags that they're decorating. So they couldn't get anything too big. And Aurora picked out. We found some. Do you remember when gel pens used to be really popular back when we were
Oh,
younger?
yeah.
Oh, I had every gel pen. Well, we found some at Walmart that were rainbow gel pens. So they change colors as you write with them, and you go, like, it starts out as pink and then goes orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. And my girl is all about rainbows. So she picked out rainbow gel pens and these little heart notepads for her treat for her friends, or her gift for her friends. And then for my son, and she's doing some bluey Valentine's cards with them. And then for my son, they could bring food, but it just had to be store bought, nothing homemade. And also, he's at that age where in his class, you don't know which kids have how many teeth. So, you can't
Right.
bring
True.
something that really needs chewed, or something, or, that's hard, or, of course, you're so worried about choking at that age too, at 2 years old.
Right. Yeah.
But he picked out heart gummies. So they're little gummy treats, fruit gummies that are in the shape of hearts. So that's what he's giving with his Hot Wheels Valentine's Day card.
Love that. There's been some years where we've taped stuff to the card like that, and I don't think we're going to go about it this year in that way. But I said because we've done different ones where they do have where you can write your name, but then they've wanted to do additional cards as well. And so we
cute.
have done some of like the little toys in the past, or just doing something different rather than just candy. But we've not had that restriction ever. So it's just kind of been a personal preference. But yeah, then it's kind of like, right, what do you choose? And you have to make sure there's enough of them. And then those little toys can get expensive also.
They can. And so the gel pens that Aurora picked out, they came in packages of 8, and she has 25 in her class. So I needed to find 4 packages of these, and I left it a little bit to the last minute. So we're in the store, and everything in the Valentine's Day aisle is just a mess, and everything's mixed up. And I am searching for packages of these rainbow pens because we had found 3 of them, and I needed 1 more to make it to have enough for her class. And thank goodness we found one, or I think she would have had a little bit of a meltdown. But we did okay, and we found the pins. So, but yeah, I need to be better about planning ahead and going to the store sooner, because I think we just went a little too late. There was still plenty there. It was just chaotic.
I have been in the same boat before, and we've had to switch gears, or I'm the one figuring it out. And then it's like, okay, well, you want to have colors for the boys and colors for the girls, or if we did just toys, and it was toys that the boys would like and toys that the girls would like, or I've had to switch up completely on what we were doing because there weren't enough of said item for the kids. So I'm glad you were able to find enough gel pens and there were no meltdowns, because
Me too.
I've been there too. And you're right, it does become a planning thing, but sometimes this stuff just creeps up on you. But you got to just, if you can plan ahead, I guess that's the best.
Yeah. And then also I try not to buy things too far in advance, especially for their gifts, because if they find it or they stumble upon it, and then when mine are so young, you can't tell them like, no, you have to wait. Then there's a meltdown there. And then Riot also didn't understand that the box of gummies were not for him. When we got home, and he calls them, he doesn't say his G's yet, so he calls them nummies. And so for like a half hour, he was walking around the house going, nummies, nummies, like trying to find them because I had hid them.
That's
so
cute.
Yeah, I can't buy anything too early, because then you run into that too. So it's a balance that you have to do as a parent.
I have come up with new hiding spots. My son is the one that is that way as well, and he turns 8 next Saturday, and I've
happy
had
early
then
birthday.
new hiding spots, and then I've had where I forget about the hiding spots. I'm like, where did I put that? Oh no! Going back to my old spots, and they're not there. But he as well. Last week, I said, just have one. I didn't want to have the argument. I didn't want to have the fight. I just let it go. And then my husband was saying, well, why'd you go? I'm like, well, you're the one that went and bought them 3 weeks in advance, and we do have 60 of them. So I think we're okay if he has 1 or 2.
Yeah.
So,
It's funny. it's funny what you come up with as a parent to try and avoid those meltdowns or, the distraction or the redirection or things like that. I have to tell you this funny story actually that happened this week that has nothing to do with Valentine's Day, but it might make somebody laugh because I thought I had been very smart and it turns out I created more of a long-term problem for myself. We were making homemade pizza for supper one night and Riot had seen that we had shredded a whole block of mozzarella cheese and he came up and he wanted a bite of the cheese. So I gave him a bite of the cheese and then he wanted another one. Gave him another bite, but then we put the cheese on the pizza and we put the pizza in the oven. And he again wanted more cheese and got very upset that all the cheese was now in the oven. And so I got him out a string cheese from the fridge because he loves those and he would not eat it. And because it wasn't the shredded cheese that he was eating prior to that. And so I was like, oh, I know. I'm going to shred this string cheese to make him happy and eat it, which worked. And I was like, oh, yeah, like how smart, Megan. Now he won't eat string cheese. I have to shred it every day for his snack because he won't eat it in the string cheese form.
Shredded string cheese. What if you just did shredded cheese and just said, oh, I pre-shredded it for you. Here you go.
I know. I don't have it like on hand. I should get just some like shredded cheese, but like I just have these string mozzarella.
Yeah, there you go. Just do shredded mozzarella
in
the bag, and then just say, "Oh yeah, it's you know what? I made this pre-shredded string cheese.
I just made it for you." Yeah, he's so funny. I was like, "Oh man, I really created a problem for myself."
Oh, that's funny.
But
that happens sometimes. You think, you're doing something that's cutting corners for yourself, and then you just end up making more problems.
Yep. Oh, well, Alyssa, this has been so fun talking about Valentine's Day with you. I hope everything goes well with getting your kids' Valentines together for tomorrow and that you guys enjoy your crab legs.
Yeah, you as well. Hope it goes great as well for you. And you guys have some nice downtime. I'm sure you deserve it.
Thank you. We're really looking forward to it. So next week, we hope to be live at 8:30. And we were a little late to 9 o'clock today, but the plan is next Thursday at 8:30 for our next segment.
All right. Can't wait. We'll see you then.
All right. Have a great week. We'll talk to you later. Bye.
Yep. Bye.